morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the November 3rd board meeting of the State Board of Cosmetology. I'm sorry, November 3rd of 2025. I'd like to welcome all board members and guests. Mr. Cozy, if you'll start with the invitation.
That's all here. Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for the month of November. Thank you for the food that you put on everyone's table today. Bless those that is in need. For these blessings in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
And Ms. Tasha, roll call.
Jennifer Reed,
Present.
Nicole Godin, Renee Bosworth, Jean Petrie,
Present.
Raymond Cozy, Lauren Quinlan, Kate Holmes. 6 board members present, 1 unaccounted for at this moment, and there is a quorum.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to the acceptance of the revised agenda.
Madam President, I move that we accept it. Good.
All in favor? Any opposed? Moving on to the disposition of the October minutes of the 2025 board meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from October 6th. A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next order of business are the schools. Ms. Deborah?
We have LCIW, they are moving back to St. Gabriel. So you'll see the floor plans and the fire marshal report. They're just needing permission to move forward.
I'll make a motion to let LCIW move forward in their new building.
Second. Well, I just want to make sure that I know this is a jail, but I just don't want to get in, I don't see enough chairs, enough shapeables that we require for schools.
Yeah,
There's
they
20.
don't, go ahead.
And I don't know if they follow the same protocol as the
They
schools.
don't, because they don't have outside people coming in to get their hair done. So they set it up, the previous board looked at it, viewed it, it was perfect, it was good.
Okay.
Apparently this one's bigger and gonna be better. So yeah,
Okay.
they're just moving.
But you gotta, understand that, like, moving forward, if other schools come up, we don't have them say, hey, the jail did this, why can't we do this? So, this is a special circumstance
Correct.
to allow this to go forward. Okay.
Okay. So, want to move forward with your motion?
Yes. Make a motion to.
Thank you, Mr. Cozy. All in favor? Any opposed?
You have, unless she's still up for it, she's not going for that. You have to put the incumbent on you.
Can't hear you.
The next order of business is the consent agreement.
Okay, the first one we have is V. Lavish Nails and Clark McFam. This was a situation where there was one unlicensed worker there. There's 2 consent agreements here. There's a $200 fine and $450 in cost for a total of $650 each. There'll be a 1-year probation on each one of those. You want me to present all of them?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
The next one is Brittany Tran. Violations were working without a license in 22, and then same thing occurred again in 25. She graduated in 2018 and completed all hours, and just she needs to pass the test. The consent is $200 fine times 2, so it's $400 for 15 costs for a total of $850. and she does not have a license to suspend. The next one is Ms. Collins. Violation is unregistered cosmetology salon. The consent is for a $100 fine and $300 cost for a total of $400 with the 1-year probation. And we agreed to reduce the fines and costs because she's provided proof that she was caring for her mother who has cancer, and so they gave her a concession on that.
What was the reduced cost?
Interrupting. Can you speak about the interruptions?
Okay.
Excuse me,
If you would let us continue with our consent agreement, you can comment after.
I understand, okay. There's
Thank
no
you very
problem. He
much.
said they agreed to
I
reduce the
understand,
cost.
thank you.
I'm just trying to see what it was.
Next one was Elmi Carter. Violation was having an unregistered salon. Consent agreement is a $200 fine, $450 in cost for a total of $650 with a 1-year probation. Next one is Van Bui, Tony's Nails. Violation is one unlicensed worker, and there was waxing equipment in the manicure salon. The consent is $400 total, $450 for $850 with a 1-year probation. Next one is Neil Nola and Diana Wynn. There was an unlicensed worker working there, so for each one, 2 consents, $200 fine, $450 in cost for $650 each. And again, the 1-year probation standard. And then the last one is Joan Thompson. Violation was an unregistered cosmetology salon. Consents $200 fine, $450 in cost for a total of $650 with a 1-year probation.
The Brittany Tran, is that 2 violations for the same thing? The January 25th as well, so she's been graduated since 2022 at least, and still hasn't taken her test to exam?
As I understand, she needs to pass the test. I think she graduated in 2018 is what our notes have.
Did she have taken the test? She hasn't passed all of her exams. Has not passed all the exams again.
Does she need special accommodations?
That I'm not sure.
Do we know if she's like currently enrolled to test again, or like what her status is currently?
Check.
I'm just curious since it's been going on since 2018, and she's still choosing to work without being licensed.
Yeah.
Check to see.
I believe it states in the goal book that if you work as a student without having licensure, you stand a chance to lose your hours.
Right.
So, and she's already had 2 violations for the same thing, so.
But no longer a student.
She's not licensed. She's
Yeah.
not-
No, yeah, exactly. She's
So
not a
they
student.
still
but she's
consider
also-
her a student until they are licensed. Right?
So that's clear.
I don't think so.
I think that once you graduate, you're not a student.
Okay.
Correct.
You're still an
Well, that's why I wanted
unlicensed.
a little
That's
clarification on
clarification, yeah,
that,
thank
because
you.
I wasn't sure. And if we can help get her to pass her exam, if she's continuously failing it.
Right, that's something I would like to know too, is how many times she has taken it and failed it.
Any student found to be in violation of this rule will be in jeopardy of losing a portion of their hours.
But she's graduated.
Yeah,
Like it's a leave course.
that's how it's, I think that's what you have.
That's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of, right, not that she graduated and.
Right.
So she
Love
took
those
her
gray areas.
national exam October 2nd, and she failed it again, so she's
This-
probably trying, October 2nd.
Okay.
So she's passed her practical portion,
Passed
she's
her
just waiting
practical.
for the theory.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we know how many times she's taken it? Her national? A couple?
Yeah.
More than once?
Yes.
Okay.
Which,
I would think that she's passing her practical, but failing her, I think she probably needs some sort of accommodations, but she's gonna have to get that through a doctor.
That's something she has to
That's something that she has
self-disclose.
to, yeah, that's, you know.
It's not an assumption.
Yeah.
She has to self-disclose that. Okay, that was my question. Thank you for clarifying.
October 2nd.
Thank you for getting that, Tasha.
And I have a question for Ms. Sherry on this topic. We obviously want to get everyone licensed so that they can get to work. What do we do in a situation like this where someone cannot pass it? They've been in violation twice. As a board, I mean, does it just keep going on? It gets brought back to us for a consent agreement?
Well, I guess a cease and desist could have been issued in the beginning when she was, I mean, it's not a student and it's not a licensee. So one option would have been to issue a cease and desist, and then you can follow up that with court action if they violate the cease and desist. Another thing would be to license her on probation because of the past violations.
She hasn't passed it, so she can't get licensed if she hasn't passed it.
So her license, any license that she would apply for could be issued on probation is one option. But it's the same as any unlicensed person. She did complete school. She did pass the practical, which is unusual. Generally, you're dealing with people that have not gone to school, have not taken any of the exams. But this person has passed, she passed the state exam. So she passed the state written, the practical, but not the national.
It's a barrier.
So,
Does anybody have any more questions?
I make a motion to accept consent agreements A through J as they have been presented to us.
Okay, do we have any comments from the board on this? Any comments from the public?
Yes, ma'am, how you doing?
I'm good, how are
Good
you?
morning to all of y'all. I was asking a question about sympathetic gestures of the board on waiving certain fees for certain people. But in addition to what you just commented on, I'm also concerned about utilizing an apprentice program to help that student move through a process, through application, that may help her pass the test and get on where she needs to go. So you may want to consider using the apprentice program to let her work within the salon and help her go through the process. But I was trying to figure out
Thank you.
what was the discount? Because I'm tallying up, and I mean, every week I come, I see the disparity between the cultures of who's being challenged and who's not. And I have a problem with that because it's supposed to be equal rights for all that in this profession. But yet, most of what I see is Asians, and I know that there are other schools that are out there that I don't see any of them in violation. And I'm just wondering why the inspectors are going out to these specific schools and not to the other schools. And I would like to, yes, salons. I'm sorry, salons. And if I'll ask for a freedom of information request just to see the reports of who they're going out to see and who they're investigating. Because at some point in time, you know, we're going to have to find out whether or not we are treating the industry fairly by doing all the schools and not just specific schools that we know that tends to do things that are not lawful within the system.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Appreciate you. Thank you. So we'll take a vote now. All in favor of Nicole's motion?
The attorney never answered my question, ma'am.
They don't have to.
We don't have to answer questions.
Okay, I asked for a freedom.
I'm sorry, Nicole, I was distracted. Continue?
We did, yes. We would like to continue with our motion a second and then bring us to a vote.
All right. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Moving on. order of business is the hearing. Mayor Tammy Fontaine.
I couldn't see her for Lauren.
Oh, no, I was a bit late this
Oh, okay.
sorry.
We've got Mr. Cozy sliding on in at the last minute.
He was early today. Give him
Oh,
credit.
boy.
He was early today.
So this is a hearing that was previously conducted, and it was taken under advisement. We had some change in the composition of the board. I believe we got a transcript, and our additional board member was able to read that.
Yes.
Maybe just to facilitate, if either Mr. Raines or Ms. Fontaine wanted to give a brief explanation of what they're asking the board to do, and then the board can determine whether they're going to go into executive session or deliberate.
We want to let her know that we can have a private session as well.
Sir?
Give her the option of the private session.
Right, once they finish, if the board wants to go into executive session, we'll address that issue.
Can I say something before we move forward? If we can have public comment until the end before we vote, so we can get through this. It's been a little disruptive the last 2 times, and I'd like to get through this. This is our 3rd hearing on this, so if we could wait till before we vote, please.
As you know, the public open meetings law says you have to afford the period of public comment
I did say
prior.
that.
We are going to
I
have
said
that,
prior
not
to
during,
voting.
not
Prior to
during
voting.
that's going on. Prior to
But while
voting.
this
the
is
public-
going on-
public
On each
comment.
individual item.
She's just asking for
She's
no
talking about
disruptions during the hearing.
while
No
we're
disruptions
doing
during the hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I apologize.
It's okay.
I misunderstood what was said, and I apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, clear. I was not here last time Kelsey did the hearing. My understanding is that she presented findings of fact and proposed findings of fact and conclusions of law for your consideration on this matter. I think Ms. Fontaine admitted to a violation. I think she had concerns about being responsible for costs, as I understand it. But those costs were incurred by the board, by your statute, you're able to recover those costs. And so I think, as I understand it, the recommendation was for the board to recover costs of the proceedings relative to the case. I think that's the limited
No,
scope.
it's not limited, it's very limited. I could see that Kelsey sent in the big boy today. There were no facts, because he started off with saying that Kelsey found facts. My whole complaint was the fact that Kelsey added in facts that weren't true, and then expected me to accept the facts that weren't true, and have those facts staying on my record for 2 years. That's the fact. That was my main argument. And then because I did most of the work, if not all of the work, even though Kelsey was ticking off other people who came months after my name was on the docket, she then told me how much I had to pay her fees, and I said, no, I'm not paying your fees because I've just done all your work. Why should I have to pay your fees and have a lie on my record for 2 years? So those are the facts.
Do you have an extra copy of proposed findings? Ms. Fontaine, do you have a copy of the proposed findings?
To be honest, I just lost my house in Jamaica, so I just wanted to get this all over and done with today because I'm just tired of the going back and forth, driving here 45 minutes. I understand how America works, so I would just like to get to know where I stand.
I'm sorry, if y'all want any of this on record, y'all are going to have to speak.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, maybe Ms. Fontaine, you could tell us what facts you're objecting to.
Like I just said, I'm objecting to the fact that he's just minimizing this whole case because it wasn't nothing to what he said. The only thing that he said that was true was I'm contesting paying Kelsey's fees because Kelsey didn't do any of the work. My file was on Kelsey's desk for well over 6 months. I'd done all the phone calls back and forth to Natasha, back and forth to State Board, was getting nothing for over a year. And when I finally got fed up and I demanded to know who I speak to, and I was giving Kelsey's details, it was only then were things done, once I got the ball rolling, not because my file was on someone's desk and I didn't have a license for almost 2 years.
And I can respond a little bit to that.
Can you have someone email Tasha the proposed findings? Is that an option?
Yeah,
Because I don't know.
just a second, see if I can find it.
Not have that.
You were licensed, you didn't have your physical license, that's correct?
That's correct, and
Okay.
because I didn't have my physical license, I was unable to order any product from any of the companies because they like to see your updated license before you can order product.
But is, and I may be mistaken here, but this particular hearing, and I think you brought a lot to our attention to look into, but I think this particular hearing is about a specific violation that's unrelated to your license, the 2 years ago situation. So I think that's what's kind of making it a little confusing for us. I may be just speaking for myself, but there was a lot that was discussed and a lot of concerns you have that were very
There was a lot that
valid.
was discussed, but if you remember, when I came last month, it wasn't my idea to adjourn it so this gentleman could catch up. I was ready last time, and like I said, third time I'm stating this fact, is that I am contesting paying those lawyer's fees when she didn't do any lawyering. I did all the lawyering for her. That's my argument, and I've stated that's my argument the first time I came here.
So I have a question. So when you reserve the right for a hearing, in that, is there not an agreement to accept the court costs when you, no? Okay. Okay, my mistake then.
I was about to accept everything until she then sent me the second email telling me how much I have to pay her, and I said, no, okay, you know what, I'll rather have a hearing instead.
But I don't think there's an instead option, right? Like you have, that's not, you can't have a hearing instead of paying the fees for violation.
I didn't mean instead of paying, I meant instead of just signing away my money.
So you're stipulating that there's a violation and that the fine is valid, is the cost portion that you
Yeah,
have to
because she didn't do any work.
But you're admitting to the violation and that is a fine of,
$250.
is it 200 or something?
Sorry, I thought you already knew, and I didn't know you were going to talk about this further. Let me just make a couple of points. One is, the board may or may not be aware, but you all have hundreds of cases. It's not just 10 or 15, it's about 20 a month, something like that. So I understand it's frustrating sometimes when things don't go as quickly as a licensee would want, but the attorneys that are working the files are trying to balance working hundreds of cases at a time.
That's all fair and well, but when I come into court the first time and I'm seeing cases get dealt with that came a year after my case, then what you're saying is actually mute. It should be in order.
Okay, why don't you let me finish talking, and then you can say whatever you need to say. So, also, Kelsey, there was legal work done here to the extent that there was, typically there's a letter sent out with a proposed consent agreement on it, it's got proposed costs and all of that, and then there's proposed findings of fact, there's preparation for the hearing, there's doing the hearing. So there is legal work in association with that. There's a prior, as I understand it, and again, I wasn't here, so my recollection was that there was a prior inspection report that was not part of the discipline file of this hearing.
Yes.
And I think that is the inspection report that she has a problem with. She's not being disciplined for that.
But they want to keep it on my record, and it didn't happen.
Just hear me out. We don't just dispose of, once we have an inspection report, it's not just disposed of out of your file. And I think that is where she is having a problem, is that inspection report remains in her file. There is no finding regarding that inspection report. There's no, it's not part of this discipline case.
Well, it was until I corrected her. that was a part of.
At the point where you had a hearing, it was, this is
Yeah.
not, that
And so
original
when you,
inspection report.
and when you said
All
that,
right, we have,
in order to file the
Ms.
papers,
Fontaine
then
and
you
Mr.
give him the
Raines.
fee. She
Ms.
told me the fee
Fontaine.
before I told her I wanted the court case.
Ms. Fontaine and Mr. Raines, both of you, we have a court reporter and she can't record two voices
I
at
know, but
one
it's a bit
time.
frustrating when I've been here 3 times now and had the same lady, and all of a sudden now I have a gentleman who's here who doesn't even know what's going on. It's
So-
frustrating, I've got things to do.
I understand, Ms. Fontaine, that it's frustrating, and last time there was not a quorum to decide the case. So we had to, and I know that that was not your doing, and it's something that infrequently happens. Kelsey had a death in her family, she couldn't be here today, and that's kind of an extraordinary thing.
I've had
because
deaths, I'm still here.
She had.
No, I've had deaths, I'm still here. What was the difference? No, but exactly, so, you
So I
know,
have a question. On Exhibit 4, it says, please note, on page 2 of Exhibit 4, please note that pursuant of LA RS 37604C, you may be assessed with all costs incurred in connection with these proceedings, including not but limited to the cost of an investigator, stenographer, as well as attorney fees. And this is under where she is requesting the formal hearing. It's Exhibit 4. It says maybe. So
Maybe.
it's
So where is the
discretionary.
okay, so how, so where, when, and how is that decided?
That's decided by the board. That's
Okay,
part of your
that's what
decision.
that's, okay.
So what I have for docket number 25007, just so we're clear, there were 3 counts of violations. The first one was operating a beauty salon in the state of Louisiana without a certificate of registration issued by the board. Is that the violation that you're admitting to?
oh no. Can you read all 3 for me, please?
Okay, the first one, count 1, is operating a beauty shop or salon in Louisiana without a certificate of registration issued by the board. 2 is unprofessional conduct likely to endanger the health, safety, or welfare of the public.
I've never heard of that one. You have to read that one to me, because this is the first I'm hearing that. And the first one,
It's in
I'm
the
not sure.
notice, it's in the complaint that you received.
Harm to whom?
It's in the complaint that was sent on July 21st.
But
It's
how-
dated July 21st,
But you have it in
2025.
front of you, harm to who? Because I'm not understanding this now.
Certified letter, right?
It was sent by certified mail.
But if you remember on the first time I came here, I said the majority of my certified letters didn't come to me because Tasha sent them to a building that I was in 5 years ago.
When did you sign for it? You have to sign for it, right?
And I didn't sign for them, so I didn't receive them. But you weren't here the first time, otherwise you would have known this.
I read it.
Okay, so there were letters sent to 1040 Road
Yeah, I haven't,
Avenue.
yeah, I left there after Hurricane Ida when the building got damaged. That's where all the mail was being sent to.
And that was the
But-
address on your license.
But every time I called in or any time I had to do anything, they had my address where I was, but yet important mail was being sent to an address that I left in 2020.
Okay, but then you had an address of 14156 Veterans Avenue.
No, that's where I am now. I've only been there a year.
So this was mailed July 21st, 2025, which is within the year. So that's-
Yeah, but there's no mail can't go there because it's a suite, so I've never got that letter. This is the first time hearing about this. There's no mailbox at that building because it's a building of suites.
Who signed for the certified letter?
I don't
It
know.
wasn't me. Nobody can sign for a letter at the building where I am now.
The certified.
I clearly told Tasha what my mailing address is, P.O. Box 251, and
Okay,
Tasha
so
said,
the certified mail was then eventually sent to P.O. Box 251, Hammond, Louisiana. And there's a signature on here that appears to be T.
Fontaine. So I just wanted you to answer my question, harm to who, because I don't remember reading that at all, because that would have been in my complaint.
Signed for it.
It was signed for it. It
I
was.
signed for the letter.
Did you read it? So attached to the
Is
letter.
anybody going to tell me
Okay,
who
so,
I was harming? Because that's my question.
Okay, I was just reading.
Okay, can I just get a
the
copy of
counts.
that and have a read of it in the meantime then, please? Because no one's answering my question and I'm really getting frustrated here. Chelsea's family, her family member died. I can't find my family member. I made it here today.
This to her. This is extra, 'cause this is, I don't want to give away anything. Okay, this appears to be an extra copy of the covenant. It's got a letter stapled to the front and the covenant behind. And that one matches the certified mail numbers marked with card.
So the fact that I moved buildings and like I said, the last time and the time before that, it was my fault. I forgot to tell State Board that I was moving buildings. But I want you to tell me, by me moving buildings, how this is endangering health and safety.
Because it was moved without an inspection.
No, how is that endangering people? Because the building has a health and safety, because it's a brand new building, everybody's been there, you had the ribbon cutting. I just don't understand why it's got on here.
Because the purpose of the license.
Because it is
to
conduct
protect the
that
welfare
is likely to
the
endanger the
public.
health and safety or welfare of the public. How?
Okay, so but that is the letter that you received.
No, that's the letter, but again, I can't seem to get any of my questions answered. How is that endangering the health and public?
Okay, you said that you agreed to the violation. I was just trying to figure out which one of those three you agreed to so we could determine
The one
what
I'm
maximum
agreeing
fine.
to is forgetting to tell you guys, who also forget a lot of things, that I moved into a new building.
Okay, so relocating it and operating the salon without a license?
No,
for
not
some
without a
period of time.
license, because I couldn't get a license, because I never had a license, and without that license, as I said on the first time I came here, I was unable to get anything updated. I was unable to get my seller's license, I was unable to purchase products. I did not have any licenses, because Tasha and the other ladies in this office kept telling me that I have violations, but nobody could tell me the violations that I had until I did the homework.
So the other charges are the ones you were disputing?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I was trying to get for the record.
Okay, so I think you said that there were three.
There were three
What was the third
listed
one?
in the,
Because the number one was about the registration, number two was the safety, and then what was the third?
violating the rules of the board, and a promulgated rule. Okay. Were we able to get them?
available for them. They're gonna email them to Natasha as soon as they can.
Okay. Materials they were handed out.
The transcript shows that they were, she passed them out.
Right, but nobody's got them. That's a problem.
Okay.
Okay, the board members took this under advisement, and as I stated earlier, because we didn't have a quorum that day, we had to delay to today. The board, our newest board member did read the transcript, and so are the board members ready to deliberate the case? Or is there any other information you need from Ms. Fontaine or from Mr. Raines?
We are ready to deliberate. Can we go into executive to deliberate, please?
Okay, Ms. Fontaine, the board has requested, a board member has requested to go into executive session to discuss your case and then come and render a ruling. Do you have any objection to that procedure?
No.
Okay, so for the record, you have no objection to the procedure. Then is there a motion? Is it-
I make a motion to go into executives to deliberate.
All in favor?
Aye.
A roll call vote, so it's
Okay.
Jennifer Reed, Nicole Godan,
Yes.
Renee Bosworth,
yes.
Joan Petrie,
Yes.
Raymond Cozy,
Yes.
Lauren Quinlan,
Yes.
and Kate Holmes.
Yes.
7 board members.
So at this time, can we inform everybody that's in the, because we'll need our staff person as well, Natasha.
Everybody know that they're in executive session.
She's invoked her right to have it in public.
Open session?
Yes.
Recorded, right? You're not recording.
Yeah, I'm recording. We're back. They're basically back.
I make a motion to go back into open session as Ms. Jamie has requested.
A second. Ms. Tasha will do a roll call for that vote.
Jennifer Reed,
Yes.
Nicole Godan,
Yes.
Renee Bosworth,
Yes.
Joan Petrie,
Yes.
Raymond Cozy, Lauren Quinlan, and Kate Holmes.
Does anyone have a motion or want to have any discussions about how we move forward with this case? Based on the evidence that you presented to us?
Yeah, I just got one question. She mentioned she was unable to get a license. So you were unable to obtain a license?
Yeah.
What was the reason you could not get a license? Not a salon license?
All of them. Every time Tasha can attest to this, I was calling for well over a year. What's going on? Why don't I have my license? Who do I need to speak to? And it always came back to, well, we can't read what's on the pink slip either, and we have to wait until Monday, because on Mondays when we do the reports, and every time I call back on the Monday, the person who did the report is not there. It just went like that for about 12 to 18 months, back and forth, back and
So
forth,
you're
back
saying
and
you
forth.
were unable to obtain?
I was unable to get any answers.
Were you unable to obtain a
I was unable to get
salon
anything.
license?
Nothing.
Can I get a salon?
Nothing. Nothing, nothing. Tasha is sitting right here, you can ask her.
From my understanding, you had a salon license at the old location, you had moved, inspector came and found you had moved, and then your license was taken until we
No.
got here today.
No.
It's
No.
taken from a previous violation. It's
No.
not the violation we're here for today.
And Ms. Fontaine, we did give you your physical license back.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure everybody was clear on that.
I think that she has brought to light several things, communication, all of these things that the board may want to look at, including the office staff. But I think pertaining to the violation that this hearing is about, she's admitted to not moving her salon location. So I would like to make a motion that we move forward with the, what Kelsey gave us last week. Last month.
So what she gave you are proposed findings and conclusions of law, but then the board will need to decide what the sanction is. If there's gonna be a
Violation
sanction.
fee and then the court cost is traditionally what we do.
And her license has been
And
returned.
her license has already been returned, we did that last month as well. So just the violation fee as well as the court cost.
Okay, so there were 3 counts.
So it's usually 2 per violation.
There are 3 counts listed in the administrative complaint, so are you finding a violation of count 1? Are you recommending a violation of count 1?
Count one is the-
Yes.
And just, I found Kelsey's recommendation, it was a fine of $200.
That's enough, okay, sorry. I apologize for not bringing that with me today, I left it on my
I
desk,
just
but,
got my email.
Okay.
as Kelsey had it written last month. With a fine of $200 plus court costs.
Did she have a recommendation of an amount for court costs, or it was to be determined?
It left the blank for
And I
the
think we as a board have discussed $750 for court costs.
So it's gone up from 450 to 750.
There's a discussion of what court costs and then email. It's right here.
So the consent agreement is $450 is what the board has authorized. But that is what Ms. Fontaine is disputing. I think it's undisputed that all this process costs additional money with court reporter, legal counsel.
Me coming down here for Hammond is costing me money.
And
I'm a
as
service
well.
provider.
As well.
Yeah.
So that's what the board needs to take in consideration. Do you have a recommendation of cost?
What is in there?
It's blank. She left it blank because she didn't know the costs at that point.
And this email is from May. From May, into May. Been back here, how many times has it been?
3 times.
That many times of
Really,
really
the
court
fault
reporter.
of Ms. Fontaine, really, that we didn't have before.
And it wasn't my fault that you were new last month either. We had to adjourn it because of you, because you need to read the transcripts, remember? Okay.
I read it.
Right. So it's not to do with me, it's to do with you, why we're here a 3rd time.
Okay, I will, remake my motion, I'm sorry. I would like to move forward with the $200 violation and $450 court cost.
I second.
Any comments on the board? Any from the public?
Yeah, I'm appealing the court costs, because Kelsey didn't do no work, I did it all.
Did you say public comments? I couldn't hear you, ma'am.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I didn't hear you. I mean, I've been sitting here, I guess, twice for this particular hearing, and it seems like both sides have not come to practical agreements that can resolve the issue that's at hand. She's not admitting anything other than the fact that she's done the work and that you all are trying to incur $450.
She's admitting the fact that
No, excuse me, ma'am. She's admitting that she did not register with the board. But the other violation, she's not admitting.
We're not here for another violation.
But she has 3 in there that she mentioned.
That keep getting mentioned.
That's being mentioned. I'm very astute in hearing. The problem is not with that issue. The problem is the issue of I saw grace given to someone because of caring for their mother and all that stuff like that. The board has to be equally compassionate towards situations where she's taken out time out of her schedule to come down here. Mr. Petrie was not a part of the process at the time. We didn't have a quorum to do what we need to do. I mean, if we can just, move on from this, because it's not going to go anywhere unless somebody makes a compromise, the meeting of the minds. And I think the $200 assessed fee, and somebody got to eat the cost. But the board has to do some internal control because this lady said she's been trying to communicate for over 12 to 18 months, and nothing has been done. So it's obvious some internal problems as well. But at the end of the day, I think that the resolution should be, hey, guess what? We learn from this experience and we move on. And I think that's my suggestion to the board, that they take that under consideration and let's move forward with this. Somebody got to eat the cost.
Thank you for your consideration. Thank you. Appreciate it. Any other comments?
Well, I just say I'm not sure of everything, but from what I'm hearing and seeing, I believe Ms. Fontaine's family is in Jamaica, and they're going through that devastation and from the hurricane. She can't find probably one of them. She's mentioning a family member, but she may not even be able to find that family member. So she's just probably dealing with a whole lot financially that I would like you all to maybe consider giving her some kind of a
Grace.
break. Yeah, that's it.
Anyone else?
I just want to say, I've been here for everyone, all 3 of them, right? And I feel like everybody's saying, there's not grace being given on both sides, right? Because, Ms. Fontaine has come 3 times, and it has nothing to do with some of the things that happen is out of y'all control, but it's out of her control as well. She came up here. There's a lot of people who I hear it every time, y'all said it, that people try to not show up and try not to do the right thing. She's saying, I'm doing the right thing. I admit to my fault. But there's no admitting to fault on the other side. Right? And that's where my problem and my issue is. It's not, you go tell us as providers, admit to your fault. We are, but you also have to look at your systems as well. And I'm not just talking about the board, but everything that's going on. And if it's not right, you have to take that into account when something like this happens. And that's all.
Thank you. Any other comments? No? Okay. Yes, you had a motion? Okay, you had a motion and a second, okay. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So this concludes the hearing for Ms. Fontaine. So, thank you for coming today. Is that
I just realized how tall you were when you stood up.
Okay, I'm gonna give you back all your papers for it, please.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mine?
Okay, guys, we'll move on to the next order of business.
So the declaratory order, which has been carried over for many.
So is somebody gonna tell me anything? Get the paper or anything, or what to conclude, what you decided? Because they're over there talking, I didn't hear anything over here, I just sat here.
We made the motion and we voted, it's the 200 violation and the 450 and 4 calls.
Okay, can somebody tell me how I appeal this?
You will receive a written order in the mail and
To the right address?
to the post office box
Yes,
address in
please.
Hammond. And then you can appeal it to the court.
Thank you. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
So the declaratory order, the check and pending for a long period of time, at this point, the board directed me to request an attorney general's opinion, which I did. We provided some cases. Okay, let the record reflect that. We still have not received the attorney general's opinion.
Can we discuss reaching out to the OLR? Can we revisit that maybe as our next step to get some advice from them, if you think that would be a good idea?
To send a request to the LRP on a proposed.
It's been a while, maybe we can get some advice from.
It's taken an extraordinarily long period of time.
I think
Can't
that's
hurt, right? It's a good
And
suggestion.
I did request that the opinion be expedited. There was no request for an expedited. That there's no action to be taken.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next order of business, which is old business.
Should we take that down?
Oh, yes, we need to get Miss Kate back in here.
Kate?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, we're gonna go on to the next order of business, which is old business, and discuss the relocation of the meetings. I believe that is your project.
Yes, this is my
So I will
project.
turn the reins over to you, Renee.
Okay, so I would like to move the boardroom. I think that the layout is not working for anyone here. We have people who stand in the hall, who cannot be in here. We don't have a proper witness desk. We have to ask people to move just to have a witness up because we're limited on seating, as well as like our backs to some of the public. I did the employee of the year for everyone in ChatGPT. So just to have a proper dais where someone to take the minutes, where the attorney can sit, a proper witness desk, and a proper audience. I have several suggestions. One of my suggestions would be in our testing center, where it would be rearranged. We do have testings on Mondays for educators. I think it is, does it start at noon?
No.
No, it doesn't start at noon. I don't know why I have noon in my head. But it would be the first Monday, or the first Monday of the month, that there would be no educator testing, that they would be with the other 3 to 4 Mondays of that month. Or relocating to a different state agency. Wildlife and Fisheries can host us in their boardroom when they're not. Their board meetings are on Thursdays, their commission meetings are on Thursdays, as well as their other state agencies. We can use the Capitol if they don't have anything going on, the Claiborne Building. There are multiple different agencies that can host us. We just have to ask to be hosted there.
They've offered.
The what?
They've offered the Capitol for us to host there. Ryan has.
Okay, yeah.
And then Wildlife and Fisheries,
Yeah, they've offered as well. Their boardroom is used as overflow for people with licensing as a place to sit, if they just want to sit somewhere else. So, but yeah, their commissions are on Mondays, so. I mean, commissions are on Thursdays, excuse me, and ours would be on Monday, so.
Okay, so back to the statement you made, I see that Deborah and Yvonne were kind of making a comment about testing schedules on Monday. If there was any, is there any way to adjust the testing schedule on that first Monday?
And is it just educators?
It's
on
just
Mondays?
educators
Okay.
on the first Monday of every month.
And how many do we average?
Oh.
5
At the
max.
Okay, I think it was brought up, thank you for reminding me, because we did say that. If there's just 2 or 3, why couldn't we have them test in here? Because it's just a one-on-one basis of testing.
I prefer to have it proper.
I don't think that that's a terrible suggestion before we decide to relocate outside of our building. We do need, obviously, as an example of today.
Yes, we had people in the hall.
And we had to have our staff run back and forth for files that we sometimes need. That is just my suggestion and recommendation. We don't have the software equipment to do zoom them in yet. This is just my opinion.
Yeah. I prefer to have it at a proper agency where, boards such as the Wildlife and Fisheries. That would be my vote for sure. And you can have staff members here. Definitely have them zoom in. That's just internet. If you have internet, you can do Zoom. If we were to need any files, and just to have more order. Once we get this building fixed and properly, maintained back in the back testing facility, that could be an option. But I think having a proper boardroom would be, because over there we also have security. They have security there. We've also been advised to have a sheriff's deputy that would include criminal costs that way at every meeting. So that's my vote, would be to have it at Wildlife and Fisheries office. And then if it doesn't work, I say we try it. If it doesn't work, then we can relocate.
Perkins.
They're centrally located.
Perkins and Essen, it's kind of like the middle of the city.
Yeah. And if that doesn't work, then we could try the testing facility. But I think having it at a proper boardroom, more professional, I think that would just be the best way to go. And to try, if it doesn't work, well, then we move. So this isn't working.
And what are y'all considering for a proposed date to start?
Date next month?
Effective immediately?
Yeah, I think too, I understand what you're saying, and Tasha had to run and go get files. I think it may, before we get the software, it may just be anything that we see as something that could be brought up. Like, we knew Tammy was having a hearing today, Ms. Fontaine, we would just have her file with us. Anything that you think may be, and if not, we can call and be like, can you shoot us this email?
And you can remote log in, I'm sure, to our server. I mean,
I can't answer that.
I'm sure they can remote log in, you bring a laptop with, and you have access to the whole server if we need anything to pull up.
Can we currently do that? I don't think we can currently do that.
Yeah, but at least have someone here that can email,
I'll check on that.
Another thing too, with it in a different area, we may be able to live stream it. I know we have people who cannot come, and that way we can live stream our board meetings and stuff like that. They have like
other agencies have proper setups for things like that. It's not required for us to live stream it, I did check with the governor's office, but they do recommend it, so.
And so then what staff would be with us there? Tasha and just Tasha, an executive director and assistant executive director, and then the other staff would just remote in?
I mean, remote in or come, you know.
We won't be
Well, I know
able to come.
the staff
I'm in
had,
charge of the whole day long.
the
Yeah.
staff had shared with me that, I mean, with all three managerial positions, I guess you would say, don't need to be out of the office at the same time, which I get that as well.
Yeah.
I think we do just do it on a trial basis. And if it works, great, great. We don't know until we try it. That's my opinion. I'm just one opinion.
I know it, I'm just so torn with it. I
I
see
see
pros and
pros
cons to both.
Yes.
I see
We
both
always have
sides.
this available. We may not always have the invite to the water fisheries office.
I will
So
say
I wanna
this,
try it there. And if it doesn't, we always have our place. we can do
before
back
maybe we reschedule, let's think of it this way. Let's just do one there, like maybe December, and then, I guess we'd have to have two vote on those logistics. Anyway, if we had one there and we saw how it was set up, it could give us maybe a better idea of how to set up in the future going forward in the testing center versus disrupting a whole testing schedule. Like if we just did it once off-site, see how it went, and then really have the visual of sitting in a boardroom and how it goes, then it can give us all a better understanding of maybe how it can go here. Does that make sense? Like almost like this is the mock-up to be able to move it here.
Or if it goes flawlessly, we just continue it.
Yeah, like so even just to try it as a proper room versus us moving things around and realizing what didn't work and constantly redoing
It's a good
it.
idea.
We would just see, you know, it's kind of like walking through the house with the same floor plan before you build the house with the floor plan, you know?
Mhm.
That would be,
So use, December as a trial is what you're
yeah,
suggesting.
like maybe just use it, you know, and until we can figure out testing schedules and things like that. Or software, like, you know, software.
Talk to them.
I just, whatever it is, this room is not working. Whatever, you know, whatever decision is made, I leave that up to y'all, but this is not working.
Ms. Cozy, any thoughts? Kate?
I think we should try it.
We should try.
Let's try it. Let's see.
Okay, so,
Well, that's on a different agenda item, so I didn't know if I could speak on it.
Let's move through this and then go.
Yeah, I just wasn't, I wasn't sure I could speak on it now, so.
okay, Sherry, do you have any thoughts, advice before we maybe take this into account and under consideration?
No, I do work for boards that meet at their own facilities, and some that meet at other facilities. One of the boards I work for is just Jim, meets at the library. The library, you know, there's no cost for government agencies to meet at the library, so some of our libraries have facilities, and they just have to adapt, like you said, they have to bring all their files and kind of anticipate what they might need. So I think the staff has to do a little bit more preparation work to print out all this, you know, the files of anybody that would be here so that they can answer.
Do you have a laptop where you have do you have a laptop where you can have all this information, like your work computer?
No.
Is it that it's not capable to be on a laptop, or you were never issued one?
One, I was never issued one, but it's not capable either. I can make copies though of their file from off of our closed system, but I can't access the closed system from the laptop.
Because you need to be on site, like kind of hardwired into it? Yeah. Okay. So I was like, if it's something like a laptop, I mean, those are relatively inexpensive these days. We can get a laptop to just remote in too.
How about talk to IT, see if you can get remote login?
Yeah.
There's a way. Shit.
Yeah.
I think our system is so antiquated,
Yeah.
it's not going to work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's right.
Okay, so, does anybody?
I'll get it scheduled.
Okay, I have one. So, if we vote on this and we make it effective December 1st, we'll have to notify the public.
Yes.
Then there's some steps that have to be taken. Are we ready? I mean,
Yeah.
I think we just note, it just goes on the agenda, correct?
That's right.
It's posted that the location, isn't it?
Probably want to put a notice on the website since you've been meeting at this place for so long,
yeah.
so that it calls to attention, because sometimes people don't really look at the address on the agenda.
Yeah.
It doesn't stand out, but you might want to just put a notice,
On the Facebook page and the website and everywhere else.
the door here.
It's a lot.
Yeah, right, immediately.
The next board meeting is,
You won't want people to.
it is the first, okay, it is the first.
And just say the next board meeting will be off-site and we can give them the location at a later
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we get them, for sure. All right, so I make a motion to move, I'll just say the next board meeting to an off-site location, to be determined where it is at, and will be posted.
I'll be brief. I just want to say, first of all, I cannot commend you strongly enough for bringing this initiative. Having been to 8 years now with the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, it's going to work. It is like flying in the Concorde versus a turboprop. I mean, I'm being perfectly honest. As you just pointed out, the door had to be closed. The Department of Wildlife and Fisheries forum is going to allow you to considerably increase your professionalism. I mean, that's just all there is to it. The witness stand is set up, everybody is already wired, and they have the equipment over to the side. The live stream should be relatively easy. You just open up a YouTube account. That's all state police did. And by the way, state police is certainly not located in Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. They're located over off Goodwood in what some people call the kingdom, because it's so elaborate. But I cannot praise that venue strongly enough, and I've been going to it for close to a decade. I think everybody will be so thoroughly impressed that you won't even want to think about coming back here. So I agree with Mr. Petrie. Well, Ms. Bosworth, the generic, and she proposed that as one of them. I kind of threw it out as a suggestion. I'm glad it took a hook. So that's all I have to say. I can hardly envision that you aren't going to be thoroughly impressed. And very briefly, it is so easy for them to bring somebody in, and it's on a huge quantity. It's no different than if they're in the room. The state police had one gentleman from Los Angeles because he was on a work assignment, and he testified before the state police commission. It's literally like they're in the room. I mean, so I strongly think this is a great idea. Thank you. That's all I can say. Ms. Bosworth.
Thank you. So, all in favor? Any opposed? No? Okay, well, we are moving off site for trial for the next board meeting. Yeah, let me find where I'm at here. Okay. So I think we're into the order of new business now, which mock-up proposed for new board meeting layout. We kind of did it, but that's okay. We'll move on to the section B that is about the comment cards, which I can also, this is all your baby. Okay,
My baby.
so.
This is my baby. Okay, obviously it would not be this big, but in order to have more decorum in the boardroom, Anyone who's been to anything in front of the legislature, some of the other board meetings, the larger ones, in order to keep order, you have to fill out a comment card in order to speak. So it's also a good way of us as far as like record keeping, who's coming, all of those kinds of things. So I have on there, as y'all can see, the date of the meeting, the agenda number that they would like to speak on. Would like to speak, they would not like to speak. And then they would check one. I'm in favor, I am against, other, meaning provide information. They might just be there to provide information, not an opinion. If other, that's where they would provide said information. If they did not want to speak, but maybe they would say, I'm just against it, or if they did not want to speak and I'm against it, and they put why, it could just be read in if they did not want to stand up. And then contact info for obvious reasons. I think it needs to be completed to be read, is my personal opinion. And the reason I put licenses and permits up with the board is just so we know, if we have people providing a proposal, a in favor or against, we can kind of see if what licenses they hold. Like if someone is voting against something as far as the manicurist license and they hold that license, I would like to see that just so I know, like, this is coming from someone with that license.
It's in that area of the industry.
Yes.
Okay.
I would ideally like to have some form of this. I know we do not have the software capabilities at this time. In the future, I would like a virtual version of this that they could turn in before, let's say, the Friday of the board meeting, because that's when our agenda is due by. And we could read it in for people who maybe cannot attend a board meeting, because we only have representation of who shows up, but it may not be the whole public in general. I think some, in our industry, people will show up when it comes in front of the legislation, but our board meetings, there's not a lot of representation besides the faces that we do see every month. So I'd be curious to see what other people's opinions are if we had the ability to do that, and a link could be posted with the agenda. If you have a comment, please fill this out. And somehow we can get that, even if it's the futures, it's not physically printed out, Tasha gets it on an iPad and can read them to us. Or we can get them and flip through them and read them ourselves, all of the ones that will not be here. I think that that's something that we, going forward, we could incorporate.
It's maybe a good suggestion to outline that we don't have a lot of input from a lot of the people that we represent. I think they don't really pay much attention to the issues that the board faces, and so that's a good suggestion for in the future.
Yeah, for in the future. I know we cannot do it now, but I think in the future it would be something that would be beneficial. It doesn't exist, so they don't know about it, but if we get the word out, I think it would be fantastic for us to be able to see what our cosmetologists are saying and our manicurists are saying and things like that, to help us make better informed decisions of maybe what the public does want and things like that. So, I would like to limit public comment to 3 minutes unless we have further up questions. I think it could make things go a little faster, like actually have a timer set and things like that.
That is written in our statute.
Yeah, so I'm asking that it be posted in some capacity so that everyone is aware of it, even if I added to this maybe or something like this. This is, easy. I did this on Canva, so I can add a star, all comments are 3 minutes or anything like that. But moving forward, I'd like any comment, a comment card has to be filled out so we have decorum in the boardroom. It could be what? Yeah. Yeah, I just did it like this so we could do it on a page just for printing purposes, because I've seen our printing budget and it is quite high, so I'm not trying to necessarily.
All right, could you make a prototype for next meeting and like an actual card? So
I can
look at
email these and we can have them printed and on the table when people check in.
Like on stock paper?
Yeah, does it need to be on stock paper? Stock paper can be expensive.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be stock paper, we could just have it on just regular paper and then.
You said 4 to a page, front and back.
It would only be front, or if we have to.
If you need to.
Yeah, if we need to do the back, but yeah, 4 to a page, so just to, I don't think we need a page this big to say all of this, if someone has something more to put as far as other is concerned, I would assume that they would be like,
They would speak it.
they would speak it out
Right.
as a, you know, as the public. So, yes, if y'all, would y'all like me to add, could be limited to 3 minutes?
I would be, yeah, probably a great
Just so
idea to
they
state
have-
it, you know, put the statute number up there and state what it says, you know.
Yeah. And so that way, if someone does go to speak, we would say, have you filled out a comment card? And just to allow.
And I think that, like you said too, this could be added to where we post the agenda on our website, and then people could potentially email those in to Tasha or whomever, and then Tasha could get them out to us ahead of time, again, to prepare, give us a chance to prepare.
Yeah, like as a Google Doc situation.
Well, even if it's just there, they can download it, right, a Google Doc or however, and scan it back to Tasha.
Yeah, if there's a way we could just link it maybe, let's just, if we can link it now, I mean, in the future, yes, maybe we can have like a really, you know, whatever, where they're not having to do a Google Doc, but we can see, you know, see what people's responses are on.
I mean, you could take a picture and now with your phone.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
scan it and email it back. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even care if someone just emailed back and said, I'm in favor and this is why, and this is who I am. You know, if they just typed it out in an email, I would be fine with it. You know, I'm just, for now, but then going
And-
forward.
Yeah, and that'll be required to fill one out to make a public comment.
Yes.
Yes.
So you know, if you didn't fill out a card, no, you can't make a
Right.
public comment.
Yeah, like, did you fill out like a month? No, you
No,
put
you
the,
can
like,
fill it out
the
that
meeting,
morning.
that
You can fill it
meeting.
out
Yeah.
that morning.
So like if, you know,
And they can
Sarah,
come to
I'll
the
just use
front.
Sarah, wanted to comment, and she has not filled it out, you're like, hey Sarah, can you go fill out a card real quick? She would fill it out and then she would get to speak.
And then you come up to the front of the desk
I
and
think
speak.
they, at my dad's board meetings, I'm pretty sure they have a certain time they have to get up and.
That's
before the meeting starts.
correct, so anybody
So
that,
you can't, like, if you wanna speak on something in the agenda, you have to fill out before the meeting.
before the meeting starts, so anyone filling out the comment card would have to know that they needed to get here early enough to fill it out before
Yes,
the board
and
meeting
also,
began.
I think they also, whenever, like, you, open the meeting.
Right.
You make the 3 minutes, this is, if you're speaking.
Correct, you speak it
have-
then.
And we'll let you know when.
Yeah.
So, this is something that y'all want to implement beginning at the next board meeting as well.
Yes.
Is that
We
my
make
understanding?
moves.
We are moving, okay, so, are there any other comments on the table?
They're gonna have a lot to do with opening that can of worms, how we vote also. So
So you-
think about that one.
Wait,
Go
start
ahead,
the,
Let's
start
get it
the.
going. In other words, when you open the can of worms, you have comments, and those comments gonna be situations that we vote on. So we got to be more open-minded in order to vote. If we have the public voting for us, if you have enough people write in on a situation, that's gonna disturb us to a degree.
Mhm.
So you're saying it may be disruptive?
It will, not maybe, it will.
I feel.
I think it'll
that-
be an adjustment for sure.
It's gonna be an adjustment. Can we make that adjustment? Do we wanna make, no, do we wanna make that adjustment?
I personally want to make the adjustment of hearing from other people outside of just who comes in the boardroom as far as the whole state. I mean, 99% of our people are behind the chair, so they can't be here. You know, unless they take their time off. I mean, I work behind the chair. If I take off, I don't get paid. I don't have PTO.
What?
So this is a way for me to say, I am against, if we're talking about, let's just say we have House Bill 1. We're trying to bring House Bill 1, and you have an influx of cosmetologists, because it's about cosmetologists, saying, I am against this. It's gonna make me say, okay, what is it that I'm not seeing? If I'm for it, what is it that I'm not seeing as to why so many people are against it? And I think that that's what, as a board member, my responsibilities are, is to look at all of my licensees and permit holders and make an informed decision with them. And I think right now, my decisions are not necessarily fully informed, because I don't have all of the as much of the public commenting as I think could be commenting. Especially from people who hold licenses and permits as well. I think we get a lot of comments, but they're not necessarily from people who are behind the chair, so.
Okay. I think,
That's to be considered, as you said.
Yeah.
Because you may get that, and in getting that type of person, that person goes to a hairdresser. And then you put our inspectors out there that follow our rules. And the rules might be different statewide, but public, that you have to consider. Or you have to do it because this is the law, and it's written. So, I agree with her what she said. She just opened that one. Person that's not even a hairdresser, but goes to a hairdresser. Could be a public official, could be a lawyer, could be a teacher, could be a doctor, could be anything that knows protocols. You have to consider that. And we touch these people. We work with the public. Just like the lady over here just now. Acknowledged breaking a rule, but she didn't want to pay. How many people were sending in if she talks to them, sending a message saying that she should not because of that situation? We all have situations, but we are governed by our law. And being governed, we have to do our job. Because she's no different from no one else. And prices is a main factor now within cosmetologists, which be in charge of that. So get ready for those kind of situations. You're gonna have them.
Yeah.
Once you open that can of worms, you're gonna have that.
But I think what she's saying, she wants to open the can of worms, so we
Yeah,
get
I told you, I agree with her.
Yeah.
But,
Get it.
yeah, I agree with her, but is I'm ready to accept everything that I hear? No.
Yeah.
So, I will say this, y'all all know, my husband was a director with the legislature. He had to sit there and go through every single email that came in. I'm for House Bill 1, I'm against House Bill 1, I'm against, here's just some knowledge. And the legislators read it. I think it is our responsibility to read it and make informed decisions. But I want the option to have that. Right now, I don't have that option.
Right.
I want to make an informed decision. And I think, like I've said, with the setup and everything else and how serious we're taken, we will be taken more seriously if we can say, we did not vote on this in a vacuum. We had an influx of people who are licensed cosmetologists who were adamantly against this, and we voted with our cosmetologists. And I think that that's what I want to be able to say, not just, well, no one showed up, and we just made the decision, you know, I think it's, like I said, it's going to be informed decisions versus.
So these would be turned in at the beginning of the meeting. There's going to be an opportunity for these people to speak.
Just like you would
time.
just like you would like when we turn it over for public comment before we vote.
It does not have to be on an agenda item.
yes, it does.
It does have to be on a, so to
Yeah.
Mr. Cozy, it has to be an agenda item. So
Yes.
it's not public comment on
Anything.
anything.
Right.
I wanted to clarify that too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so a lot of other, I went and looked at a lot of other board meetings agendas, and they do have a time for public comment, and that is an agenda item. So if we have agenda number 3 is public comment, let's just say, for example, nothing is on the agenda about this pin, but you want to talk about it, you could then say agenda item number 3, and then you would talk about it then. Right now, you could email and we put you on the agenda item, but that could be a way where the public can come and speak about something and be added to the agenda. They would be added to the agenda under public comment. They would just have to fill this out saying that's what they want to talk. It would not be an out of turn thing like, I need to speak, but right now we don't have anywhere on the agenda for someone to speak unless they have emailed in prior.
okay.
I'm not talking about voting action items, I'm talking about someone who would just like to come and speak and talk to us about
Right,
something.
like last meeting, we had 3
We had
different
3 people, but they were listed on the email. If we had it as a public comment period, that would be for the other, if that makes sense.
Anybody that fills out this would be on, like, they would speak under the public.
Right.
Yeah.
You fill out the comment card to speak during the public
Public
comment
comment.
time,
Yeah.
not just anybody who,
Yeah,
I mean, we could have a list a mile long.
Yeah.
I mean, if we allowed any and every person,
yeah.
You know, so we do have to think about this,
Yeah.
and not just say anybody and everybody during that time can
No,
speak.
yeah,
No,
they,
you
and
have to
I
have a
think it has to
card.
be a card,
Or
and
a
it has
card.
to
And,
be
and
on
I,
the agenda.
right, and I still agree that if somebody wants to make a presentation, that is totally
Yeah,
different.
that's totally different, because then maybe
They
it's gonna
have
be
to
longer
email,
than 3
and it has
minutes.
to
That
be
is
put
who
on.
emails.
Yeah, okay, if you're presenting on, you wanna open a new continuing education, you
Right.
have to give a presentation on your, oh my gosh, I'm losing the word, what teachers
Curriculum.
have. Curriculum. That's gonna take longer than 3 minutes. So yes, I think that that's different. I'm saying if it's a, like, smaller 3-minute public comments.
On this, you have to have your.
Do you have limits?
Do you have limited number of individuals speaking?
No, I think by law, we can't have limited numbers of
3
people
minutes.
speaking, but I
Just a
mean,
minute, but what about numbers?
no, I mean, if we had
Whoever fills out a comment card can speak.
If we had 100 people show up here today, we would have had to let them speak. That's the law.
Yeah,
We would
well,
just
it
limit
also
it.
says in that law that up to 3 minutes, so we can actually, it's a fluid thing, you could say, since we have
Well, there is
50
a cap
speakers
of
today,
30.
you have 60 seconds. You know, so that
Well, it
is in
also
our statute
states,
as well.
it states 3 minutes per person, up to a 30-minute
Yes, you
limit.
Right, there
only
you
have
go.
so much time.
So
Yeah.
whoever can speak within the third, no, so explain that to me.
Okay, that's in our rule, but you can't limit
Can't limit
the
them.
number of people that can speak. But of course, you have to go on with your business, and it's up to 3 minutes. You
You
could,
could say 30 seconds.
Well,
We have 100 people.
it has to be
You know, I mean,
realistic,
but yeah.
but like the legislature, I know all of y'all probably heard, if there are, multiple people on the same side, ask them not to repeat and to
Right.
designate a representative. Sometimes you have an organization and you have a whole lot of people from an organization or from a particular school or whatever. And generally, the people that are attending the meeting want the meeting to move along as well. So just sometimes ask them to designate a representative if every individual adopt their opinion or say,
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll be able to anticipate that if we have something
Major, but I don't expect us
major, right.
on December 1st to have 100 people all of a sudden want to speak either. So I don't think that this is
Right.
gonna make our board meetings go substantially longer. I think if anything, our board meetings sometimes go longer because it's not consistent and it's a little all over the place, where this can maybe make it flow a little bit better. Even if it's the ones that are emailed in, not necessarily read out loud, but the board is given them for us to read before, just like our agenda packet that we get before, we would get all of them and then we would read them. I mean, I would personally read them before, versus like Tasha maybe reading every single one of them, like we could read them before.
Okay, well, why don't we, yes, let's stick with the comment cards for public comment, but before we go, what I call live with it,
Yeah,
and putting
yeah.
it out there for everybody that wants to fill out a comment card, to fill it out, right now, let's be honest, I think that's a lot more work we're putting on the office staff.
Yeah,
We
without the
have to
software,
consider.
without the software,
So, I think sticking to a actual copy, an actual piece of paper right now,
yeah,
can be step number one.
yeah, until we
And
work
then-
out
And then
kinks.
moving forward, we can maybe look at the virtual side of it, which is
Yeah.
a great suggestion to get everybody involved, because we do want to represent everyone.
Yeah.
That's just my suggestion.
And I would say too, with the way technology is now, when a comment card is submitted, it's automatically emailed to the entire board. So it may not be the night before you have to read 100 of them. But as they're coming in, you're reading them. So you're starting to kind of think, okay, I've just got 3 that were no. And now I just, and 2 days later, you get 4 more that are no. And so then it kind of makes you start to think versus like being overwhelmed with the numbers. Or, it could be something, that's a software thing for sure to think about.
Sure.
Okay, so, any more comments from the table before? Did you still want to have something to say?
No, I mean, and that's my biggest thing about the board meeting, is that you're not getting all of the voices, right? And we come because we feel like, if we miss, there's gonna be something that's talked about that may get pushed over that we didn't speak upon, right? And there's a lot of people who can't come on Mondays because it's their off day, right? And you have to think, like she said, stylists don't have PTO. They have to rearrange what they're doing. Either they're working 12 hours for 4 days to get it in, but right, or come or get to come here. So that's the thing. I think we're missing a lot of people's voices. It's not about, when I speak, it's not about I'm against y'all. It's literally I'm looking for fairness, and sometimes fairness doesn't prevail, and that's the thing that, you know, for me when I speak, that's what I'm looking for. It's just somebody hears me, and it's not just pushed to the side. It's like, you heard me. It becomes a part of how you're thinking, because we have our own agenda, right? Everybody come in here with their own agenda. I could care less if, you know, if one person, it's not just about me. It's about the many people I talk to who are, you know, for us as natural hairstylists, that are natural hairstylists, we shifted everything that we do based upon what y'all say. When we talk about law, we shift. We created literally a nonprofit so we can put people in school to go and get, because we feel like there's not many people who are actually doing the work for natural hair. Y'all still haven't talked about that part, right? Y'all just having people saying, oh, this is a law, but y'all not talking about, there's people who've been doing this work for 20 years that was never legislated before, and nobody has talked to them. This board, nothing. So that's why we come, and there's a lot of people who come because of that, and that's the problem that I have, is that nobody's speaking to those things. And yes, now it's, let's get this permit. But who's teaching them to get the permit?
Yeah, that's another item, that's not really what we were talking about.
No, but I'm saying that is basically, if I don't show up, y'all don't hear it.
Right.
Right? If the next person don't show up, and it's not just about natural hair, what I'm saying is that's why I came. I said, I prefaced it, is why I come.
It could be aesthetic.
Aesthetics or whatever, right? But they don't have the time and energy because they're trying to.
Yes, sir.
Can I speak?
Yes, sir.
The only thing I want to advise you, or tell you, when you keep using the word natural hair, cosmetology, if you read the rule, automatically deal with natural hair. In Reconstruction days, up until now, been natural hair. Automatically, already in there. Now, if you want to take natural hair and design it different in your day and time, that's good. But the word natural hair is in.
Yeah, but it's not being taught.
Okay,
It is being taught.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay, order right now, okay. We're gonna circle back to the comment cord only right now.
Yes,
Whether or not we are in favor of it or not in favor of it, okay? Please, let's have some order in here. It's not a public discussion, although we respect everyone's opinion and comment. We gotta stay on topic.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
The only thing I want to say about the
3
comment
minutes,
card.
please.
I'm not gonna be long. No, ma'am. That's no problem. The comment card is that once they're submitted, they have to be read into record. That's legislative law.
Yes, correct.
So you can't look at them as the board and not read them into record,
I
because the public has to see what is being said.
Yes.
And they want to know what's going on. So with that being said, then I think Mr. Cole's proposal was probably the best, because you open a can of worms, you're going to expose a lot of things, and accountability, workloads, and everything else that's going to come along with it. And then you're going to have people that, you know, that may not want to put their name on something, that can put anonymous and make their comments that would not attach them to a situation that may bring them under scrutiny or to be persecuted. Because a lot of people want to talk, but they're afraid to talk because then the powers that be is going to come against them. So I think that's something that has to be considered. I believe if you put anonymous out there, you get a lot more comments, a lot more truthfulness coming forward that would be more apparent to the board to know what's going on out there and what the concerns are. But a lot of times you put a lot of pressure, you put your name on it, people are going to be fearful because they're going to be scrutinized and attacked
Okay, thank
in
you.
this profession.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I'll be brief once again, and you can certainly set it for 3 minutes because I'm not going to be that long. Y'all just have to accept the fact that she's not paying me, okay? Because once again, this is another fantastic idea. And I will just encourage you, if you'd like to, quote, cheat a little, you can go to the State Police Commission's website, click on notices, and they will actually have a speaker card for you to download this PDF form. It's about half a page. From my vantage point, it's worked so well for 10 years, you could just strike through Louisiana State Police Commission and put Louisiana Cosmetology Board. They have a limitation, and yet they are flexible for somebody who's late. They will take a card after someone has shown up. I think that's just goodwill, and I think it has served them well. They limited it to 5 minutes, but that's 5 minutes collectively for the entire meeting. Just like you just mentioned, an agenda item that says public comment, everyone has to make public comment on whatever is on the agenda all at one time at the initial outset of the meeting. They may not know how the discussion's going to go, and that is having it before the vote, so that they're conforming with the law. It works well. The only thing you're in the dark on is you don't know what may transpire, but that's just a disadvantage that sometimes has to exist. The police commission, y'all certainly do not have to do this. I know Ms. Sherry will point that out. The police commission does add a line at the bottom that says public comment on items not on the agenda. In my opinion, that brings goodwill. Very rarely does anyone speak on something that is not on the agenda. It does happen, but I think it brings them goodwill that they afford that, but you are certainly not legally required to do that. Those are just some things that I'm throwing out from having been to that commission for 10 years, and it goes incredibly well. Now, Ms. Feeney runs things, Lenore Feeney with Taylor Porter. She will sometimes kind of look over at me like, you know, because I'm a stickler for having some structure, and I am so glad to see that it's finally coming here, because what's happening, everybody knows it. There have been little offshoot conversations, both by board members and by people in the audience. And I'm glad you brought the gavel down, because that's, well, I'm sorry, I am, because that's the kind of thing that needs to come to a halt. You know, when someone's speaking, they ought to have the floor, and they ought not be interrupted and demeaned by other conversations, which this camera can often pick up. I don't even like it for someone to lean over to me and whisper. I'll try to be as polite as I can. I'll write most times. But it's just common courtesy, and it's common respect, and it will build you a better reputation as a board. And so, once again, thank you. The commission, you've taken it a step further. I like it. The commission does not let you email in. So I like the idea of gradually phasing that in. Gradually. Right, yeah. Because I don't think you're going to have any big problem at all on your first phase, which is the comment cards. I don't think you're going to have any problem. I have filled out comment cards each time I've wanted to speak. I have no issue with it. It's professional, it's courteous, your name gets read into the record, and you speak. And that's the way it should be. So, Ms. Bosworth, thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, so I think
What Lauren had to run to the ladies' room. Yeah, she couldn't hold it anymore.
okay, well, we'll take a 2-minute break then. Everybody needs to go to the restroom?
Yeah, I need to go to the restroom.
I did that for you.
There you go. Your predecessor practically broke one time. I have it on video. He practically broke it.
We still have to vote on the comment card.
Yes, we do. So,
Did you make a motion? I'll just do it just in case, I don't remember. I make a motion to adopt the comment cards, just the physical ones for now. We will explore the idea of submitting one via online at a later time once we have software capabilities.
Second.
so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed to comment cards? All right.
Thank y'all.
so I'll add to that. You have confirmed
Yes.
that we have, the location is at Wildlife and Fisheries on,
December 1st.
Okay.
It is reserved. The address is 2000 Quail Drive. I cannot give you the zip code. It's your phone. It's Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. If you plug it in, your phone will take you right there.
Well, then, can I correct one thing? I was under the assumption we were going to the Wildlife and Fisheries on Florida Boulevard. I may or may not be accurate in everything I said. I apologize, I thought we were going.
There's not a Wildlife and Fisheries on Florida Boulevard. Their headquarters is on Quail Drive off of Perkins Road. It's a huge board meeting. They have a
Well,
huge board.
maybe it's Department of Agriculture. Mike's trained.
Yeah.
That's Department of Agriculture.
Okay, well then
But they do have a proper boardroom.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, they have
well,
a
I'm
huge
sorry, I
commission.
did not mean to brag insatiably on something
Yeah.
I've never even been to.
So it's on Quail Drive, it's off of Perkins, between Essen, and College, yeah, Essen and College. So depending on where you're coming from, you can get off on College.
Pennington, it's right.
Pennington, it's behind Pennington Biomedical, if anyone's familiar with it. It's a very large campus.
Is there a sleepover or a room?
But when you walk in the doors, it's immediately to your right.
Okay.
It's a very large boardroom. You can't really miss it.
It's called boardroom.
I'm sure it has some name like the Ballard Room or something.
Excuse me. You said Wildlife and Fishery?
yes, sir.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be at the end on your left-hand side.
Yeah.
Before you get to the old
So
Christian
there's a school back there
Yeah,
too, but you'll
Christian.
see it.
Okay.
It's a big building. But immediately when you walk in to the right, when you sit at the desk, it'll be to the right, so.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll move on under new business to C, the annual fiscal report and balance sheet. I'll turn that over to you, Steve, if you want to speak a little bit on it, and then.
Well, it's just that, the annual report and balance sheet was submitted to the board to see at the last meeting, and you had that now for a couple of months. It's just that we have to submit it to the board, and you've seen it, and so unless there are any questions, there's nothing needed on that.
John, did you want to
Would
speak
you
a
like
little
me
bit
to
on that?
speak on it? Yeah, so.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I got with our CPA, and as you can see, the balance sheet, it can be quite confusing because of the retirement pay and a bunch of other things on there. It doesn't look like your typical balance sheet, but they have to put that on there. So I just asked them for, and on the profit and loss for, the revenue for the past year and our expenses for the past 3 years. And so he did this for me, and so I'll just give start on July, from July 2022 to June 2023. Our total income was 1.896 million. Our total expenses was 1.98 million. And that's a loss of 93,000. You know, this is plus or minus 10%, guys. And then from July of 2023 to June of 2024, total income was 1.9 million. Our expenses were 2.08 million. That's a loss of 183,000. And then July 2024 to 2025, our total income was 1.866 million, and our total expenses was 2.023 million, at a loss of 157,000, give or take. So with that being said, with the amounts, the increased amounts of our fee, which is $10 per license, so we got, you know, from cosmetologist, esthetician, manicurist, I can go through all of it, that would take quite some time, but the largest number of licensees we have in the state right now is cosmetologist, and it's 21,931 as of today. And you know, you go down the line, but all of the cosmetologists, estheticians, manicurists, instructors, managers, booth renters, shampoo assistants and permits, alternative hair permits, threading permits, shops, and schools. With the increased licensure fee, our increased revenue will be 560,000, give or take. Okay, and if we continue on the same track as last year, that will give us a profit of roughly 400,000 this year. And with the amount we have in the bank right now, I think was it like 1.2 million or something? So we've gotten the quotes from the construction company, range from, 275 to around 350. We're not comparing apples to apples. And then the quotes from the, for the software, we're trying to narrow that down. I don't even want to say a number of that because I have no idea. I know, but it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I would say to the end of this fiscal year, towards the end of this fiscal year, I would feel comfortable revisiting this budget and see where we're at, and that we can start fixing this building up, hopefully sooner than later, and also sooner than later doing the software renovation. But I would like to go a few more months to see these license fees come in. But I'm thinking after the first of the year, we can start pulling the trigger on a few of these projects. And we're gonna have to dip into the funds we have now, but
At least we have a little safety net coming in with the.
a little bit, right. I mean, we can't do both right now. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing both at the same time right now. That might just deplete all of our cash. So, this is come to the CPA, and this, like I said, he did this fairly quickly. We can dive deeper into it to get, then he feels comfortable. These are pretty exact numbers. So, that being said, $10 fee increase was good, and hopefully we'll be able to get all our projects done within the next year. But I feel comfortable that we can get some solid quotes on the software, and maybe, after talking to the construction company, do part like, let's fix the roof and stop, put a Band-Aid on it for now, the building, so it doesn't get any worse. So we can do it in steps like that, but we'll have the income to do that. So that is good news.
You have to put that $4 per license that they're taking out
No LRP.
for the,
I think he took that all into consideration with the profit and loss, yeah. But yeah, if you do that,
you still have to take that.
if you do that, I mean, you got, okay, well, if you take that out, 130,000 out, okay, then, that's 280,000 more profit. But it's still, we're moving in the right direction, we're not stepping backwards.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, we're not, hopefully this year we won't be in the negative again.
Good things coming.
For the past 3 years, we've been in the negative, so.
Okay, well, thank you for that report, John, I appreciate it. Moving on to the next. Executive Director's report.
All righty, if you'll notice, there is a retention schedule in your file here. Retention schedule is only the time that we must keep all of our documents. The state requires us to keep documents for a certain amount of time. Kiwan, would you speak to that right quick?
Yes, so this has been the same for a few years. We kind of periodically go through it. This year, we added number 42, 43, and 44. 42 is the copy of the physical checks because we do electronic deposits. And so we needed a time frame on how long to keep the physical checks. A copy is made, the bank has a copy, we have a copy, so we did it for a 2-year span, and then we're gonna get rid of them, like shred them. The next two have to do with the body cam footage. We went with basically the same as any disciplinary or inspection report, where we keep it for a couple of years if it's non-disciplinary, and then for any body cam footage that is going to appear in a disciplinary proceeding or hearing, has to do with a consent agreement, anything like that, it'll be a total of 4 years that we keep it in the cloud. Those are the only changes.
That's just so you'll have a copy and know how long we have to keep our documents. Performance audit discussion, I think the board is.
I need y'all to approve that though.
Yeah, you've already approved that.
No, we never.
Well, this audit performance discussion is that when we talked, and you talked to them also, we have to do a performance audit at some time. They've asked us, they told us we probably need to get one. They can't start until sometime after January the 1st, and they said it would take approximately 6 months to send the people in to various places. So that we need to, the board needs to go ahead with the staff will have that presented, and we can start that after January 1st.
Right. At the performance audit, I spoke to Emily Dixon in the legislative auditor's office.
Right.
Talked to her for a while. They normally audit, I'm not sure when the last time the board's been audited. Remember the last time the board's been audited? Okay. So they typically audit every board within 10 years or so. But going to the auditor's office, asking them to perform the performance audit is a very good thing. What they're going to do is it's not like your typical financial audit. They are going to go through our financials, but they're going to audit of how we do everything, how we process everything, and give us suggestions how to be more efficient. And saying, okay, how are you doing this with this much staff? You need to add 2 more inspectors. I'm just saying, or you need this one more testers, or no, you have too many testers. You can really narrow it down to this. I don't know where they're going to come up with. It'll help us run a whole lot more efficient. They will also take into account the financial for the licensure fees and everything, and then they'll say, hey, with these, we're going to give them the quotes for the building quotes and the quotes for the the software improvements, and they'll come back and suggest, hey, I think you need another $5 increase in licensure fee, or you don't, or they're going to give us an honest,
All those different angles.
right, different angle, and it's coming from an outside source, so I think it's going to be really good. In order to get this started, to get the ball rolling, which we need to do now, and like you said, they can't start. He said they can put us on the schedule to be after January 1st, could be all the way into February or March when they can start seeing all their workload. We have to email Mike Wagnispak at mwag@lla.la.gov. It can be just an email. Jennifer, you can send them an email saying, hey, this is what we're formally requesting a legislative audit. It could be as simple as that, or you can go into detail and copy a few other people in, and then you should expect a response. If you don't get a response, if you don't get a response in a few days, give them a call. But you have to email Mike Wagnis back.
Okay.
And finally,
But we need a vote on that.
Yeah, before, let's vote real quick on the,
Or public.
If you request an audit, does the board have to pay for the audit?
No, it's paid by the state.
so let's back up just a tiny second. And does anybody have any questions about the 2 items that were added to the retention report?
I have a question about the cloud. I mean, I know when I have to add a little cloud space to my phone, it's like $20 a month, and I'm sure this is a lot more than
extra.
little phone, huh?
No extra.
No extra? Okay, well, that's good.
Okay. Anything else?
Now, is the video from disciplinary, I mean, it's 4 years, is that pretty much a set standard
Right,
across
is that-
other state agencies?
Right, is that a state
Is 4
agency?
years pretty much the standard for state agencies?
3.
3
So that's
is.
the recommendation is 3 for other state agencies?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is something just to think about in the future, if we have someone who comes in and there's multiple violations, but then it's over a span of 10 years, like how do we decide who we may keep permanently, just going forward? I mean, it's starting now, so this is something in the future, but I'm just saying that I think that's something to be, like we said with this person from 2018, who has been, imagine if the body cams had started then, we might need to hold on to some people's indefinitely until things are resolved. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's
In the
that-
file, in their file, so to speak.
Okay.
So I guess it depends upon the procedure, because the body cams is through a service, and the cloud space that you're talking about, is that their cloud space, or is that cloud space?
Their cloud space.
Okay, so does their cloud space have a max out where you have to download it? Because I
It
know
does
some-
not.
does not.
Can you download from the cloud space?
Yes.
So
Okay.
maybe it'd be something that we download if we feel, you know, for reoccurrence. Because if we had to come back in front of a hearing and we no longer have that body cam footage, like, I think in certain cases, it may be beneficial to maybe have it. I don't think that this is gonna be a large number of people that we would be doing this for. So I think it's doable to have a few of them downloaded permanently, is just what I'm saying as far as retention,
Okay,
so.
we can bring that topic up too in more depth conversations.
It's about,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's been lots of
body camera conversation. Yeah, I think it's something that's gonna be coming, it's just something I'm thinking of now,
Right.
so I wanted to put it out there.
Okay. I think the only clarification I needed to know is what other state agencies require
Yeah.
for retention, and she covered that, so, which I should have expected that. Okay, so, you wanna make a motion?
Public comment?
Oh,
Is it one for a vote?
Go for a vote for the,
Retention schedule.
Retention schedule first?
yes. Do any public comment about the retention schedule? No, okay.
All right, I make a motion to accept the records retention schedule.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, back to you, Steve.
All right, and lastly, as you all know, my last day is the 28th of this month. It'll be my retirement date, and so this is the last time you have to put up with me. And I will probably go and see if I can find a greeter's job at Walmart so I can tell the old women they forgot their false teeth. But so long, folks.
Oh, Steve, thank you,
We
Steve.
want to thank you for your years of service to the state of Louisiana.
Okay, so, coming off the cuffs of that, that large announcement.
we need a vote on that one.
Oh, we missed the performance audit, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, thank
Important.
you. Okay, that's kind of important.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I make a motion to go forward with the performance audit.
Okay,
I said,
okay.
Plenty of seconds.
Any comments from the public? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay, before we move on to the attorney's report, I would like to ask for, an amendment to the agenda for consideration of, my recommendation for the new executive director position beginning December 1st, 2025. It is my recommendation, hopefully with the board's approval, to allow Ms. Erin Grace to fill that position. So, if I could have a motion for the amendment?
Our motion that we have, yeah.
Amend the agenda.
To amend the agenda first, you,
First, yeah.
okay, Erin.
I second the motion to amend the agenda.
Okay. So, does that need to be a roll call vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Jennifer Reed,
Yes.
Nicole Godin,
Yes.
Renee Bosworth,
Yes.
Jean Petrie,
Yes.
Raymond Posey,
Yes.
Lauren Quinlan,
Yes.
Kate Holmes.
Yes.
Okay. So can I, possibly get a, public comment? Well,
Now we'll let the vote.
No, I think we're gonna,
I
talk
mean,
about it, Erin.
well, yeah, I was gonna ask if there's any comments at the table, and then, move for a motion, and then public comment.
Would Erin like to say anything?
Well,
Is there people here who maybe don't know you and your qualifications? I know we were given it, but there are people in the room who are not, so in order for them to maybe have an informed public comment.
Yeah.
Sorry to put you on the spot like this.
It's fine. I'm Erin Grace. just recently Marcel, so you'll see a little name change there. I'm just really excited because I've been a licensed industry professional for over 20 years going into this role, so it's going to be a little bit of a different perspective, and what I think maybe has happened in a lot of boards where now you have somebody that's licensed that's been actually doing the things for a long period of time and helping to grow individuals in the industry. And so I'm just excited to do this for the whole state as a whole, to be honest with you. And I'm just really excited for all the changes that are happening too, to help the team and make them feel supported more than anything, and know that I'm here for them. So, thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
I've been Aaron, the first day I was sick, and when I got approved, I was sitting next to her, didn't know who she was at all. First thing came out of my mouth, you go get it, boy. So I'm telling you, you go get it, girl. Thank you.
Okay, so,
I would like to make a motion to accept your recommendation of Erin Marceau as the new executive director.
A second.
okay, before we make it the vote official, any comments? No? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Are we doing roll call? Okay, aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
All right.
welcome. Kathleen. Okay. The next item.
Oh, you got two?
You know what?
No, Aaron's resume.
I thought I had handed everybody one.
Let me try, I don't have to, because I stole her.
No, I got it.
Got it? Okay. Moving on to the next item would be the attorney's report.
So, happy to report we don't have any litigation. At this time, we still do have that pending Attorney General's opinion request related to the declaratory order, so I'll follow up on that. I think everybody was given a copy of the Attorney General's open meeting law, just so everybody can be a little bit more familiar, with a lot of the things we discussed today, the procedures for the meeting, and this is a summary. There's also a legislative auditor summary, which is also a good summary, but this is kind of like a book, so I didn't know if you wanted any more reading materials, but everyone should be familiar with it. So that will help me go a little bit more smoothly.
Tasha, thank you for reading it here for us. Okay, so I think we have had a very lengthy meeting and covered lots of topics. Woo, Lordy. So at this moment, I think I will adjourn this meeting.